Hello, my friends, and welcome. This is the 3-year anniversary of John Rambo Presents, the show. My name is John, and I am joined by the greatest co-host, the best friend, and the most tender hetero life mate that I or anyone else could ever have. Ladies and gentlemen, the great OJ is here.
You must be speaking about someone else. Couldn't possibly be me.
There's only one. That's all we want. That's all we need is one.
I believe you.
Be a little scary with two of you.
That would be really frightening on a number of levels.
Maybe I would. I don't know. I'd like to maybe experience a day of that, and then maybe have the two clones try to murder each other in a display which I would broadcast and sell on pay-per-view.
If there were two clones, that would mean there's three of us, because I'm the original. Wink, wink.
You would be gone. The cloning process takes the life of the original person.
I'm kind of against that.
So, OJ, it's very quiet. You notice this? It's very quiet.
Oh.
There was no intro. I cannot see you. God only knows what you're doing over there right now.
I'm totally not licking my nipples.
What?
I'm not! It would be rude if I was.
Even if you're not, now we all have the mental image of this.
I'm not fat enough that I can reach.
Is there something you're aspiring to, maybe?
No.
Maybe on the 5-year anniversary you can do that.
Nah, I'll just bite my toes.
There's no one here but you and I, sir. We're not live. For the first time in 2 years, a 2-year streak of live shows is over. Destroyed.
Wow.
Streaks are made to be broken, though, I think. And if anyone's going to break the streak, it should be us that does break our own streak.
By choice and not by accident?
But yes, by choice. We decided to bite the bullet. But my friends, what we've done today on the show, for this 3-year anniversary of the show, we've stripped it down. We've stripped the show down. So it's beautiful, naked glory before you. We've taken all the excruciaments. Is that a word?
I think you mean accoutrements.
Yes, all the excretions of the show are no more. We've taken the show back. We've peeled back the layers of the show like an onion. Back to what it was in 2011, John. We're back in 2011 now. We've traveled into the past. Everything is so different.
Yeah.
OJ can't stop coughing.
I've gained allergies, man.
The economy was bad.
It's still kind of bad.
The internet's a place where people go and complain about nonsensical things. Don't really matter.
Yeah, people stopped that in 2013.
That all ended. That ended in 2013. Yes. Now it's mostly just stock tips. Well, maybe things aren't so different after all, you know. But John, it was September 23rd of 2011, which would be 3 years yesterday.
Yep.
And that we've been doing this for 3 years, so let that sink in. 3 years. This has certainly been a big part of our lives pretty much every week. This year we kind of cheated a little bit, but, you know, that's how it goes. Mm-hmm. Doing some other things. We're doing some other things. Other projects. But big part of our every week for 3 years. Big part of our lives, and hopefully a small little piece, a little nugget of all of your lives as well. Let it sink in, John. 3 years. Think about that. How about I just yell? I'm going to yell 3 years, and you just think about it as I do it, okay?
Okay.
3 years! 3 years! 3 years!
I couldn't keep thinking about it after the second one.
Did you see, like, the whole thing just flash before your eyes?
I kind of got a Keanu Reeves, whoa, moment.
Huh. Maybe he'll come on year 10. We'll be on CBS at that point. So on today's program, we're going to kind of go through. We're going to talk about some moments of the show that I picked out, and maybe OJ's got some too, and just kind of talk about this wonderful ride. It has, I think, been a wonderful ride. And when I really like step back and think about what this is, it's a very incredible thing. And from time to time, people will ask, I don't know if this happens to you, you tell them I do a podcast, I do a show, they go, what is it about? Because everyone kind of does a very, it's usually very topical, it's on a specific thing, right? And people want to know, what is yours about? Is it about...
OJ coughing.
It's about OJ's cough. And is he going to make it through this episode? Should we hang up on him now? Perhaps. That could be what it's about.
That's what you think about every episode.
Well, I think what our show is, and I've never said this to anyone because they probably think I'm some kind of pretentious dick. But if I had to describe what our show is freedom. That is our show, John, is freedom. What we have weekly is a blank slate to do whatever sick things we want with it. And it's an incredible thing to have. You know?
Well, as demonstrated by my first comment for the show.
We could do basically anything with this. That doesn't cost too much money out of our budget. Right?
We have a budget. That's cute.
Whatever you have in your bank account is the budget. But it's just a blank slate every week, and we can do anything. We will have a guest on if they agree to actually come on, which hasn't been very often lately. But, maybe I'll call a Burger King.
Oh, no.
Maybe we'll show elephant fornication. Maybe we will venture into OJ's dream world. You know, it's a beautiful thing. And
well, as for the elephant fornication, I mean, that wasn't me coughing just now.
Those were the sounds of the lovemaking.
Yep.
And you talk about big shows. You talk about any kind of radio show. Probably there's a network. There's a boss. There's someone saying this is how you should do it. In some way, even if the people have a lot of freedom, there's always some kind of influence or some sort of somebody sticking their finger in the jam, right? And we certainly don't have that, and it's a wonderful thing. And from time to time, people will often say, I don't know if you've seen people say this, but they'll be like, you guys deserve more. You deserve more, views, money, whatever, for your work, which I think is a great compliment.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's always like, if it's a good time, if you feel like you're doing good work, if you're proud of your work, and if you're learning things by doing it.
And if you're enjoying it.
Oh, yeah, that too. That's probably a good one, yeah. If you're having a good time, then I think it's certainly worth doing. And I think if we did, let's say we made a lot of cash doing this, I think it would be a worse product. What do you think about that?
That would be...
Let's say both of us, right? You and I, both of our entire incomes were based on this. And then I'm like, John, tonight I want to call the movie theater. You might be like, you might be like, you can't do that. Or something, right?
Oh, I mean, I was still kind of like, don't do that anyway.
But the way things are now is there's nothing to lose, right? There's nothing to really, you can just try anything. It's experiment with things. And what's the worst that's going to happen?
The worst that happens is people don't like that episode.
But then there's always just do another one. It's not going to be like you're fired or you're not getting, you guys can't eat this week or whatever. You can't pay your bills this month or whatever. So, I don't know. Do you have anything to say about, do you agree with that or no?
It gives us a certain amount of freedom in that we don't have to worry about getting in trouble and losing the ability to keep living if we mess it up here.
And we're untouchable. Because even if we got banned from YouTube, what do you do? You make another one. Right? I mean, they can't stop it.
Can't stop the beat and go. Wait, can't stop, won't stop the beat and go.
Did you get it right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's Junior Senior. It's a good song. Move your feet.
So, with that being said, that's that. We're always looking to improve things and make things for the better. Sometimes, maybe we don't pull that off. But it's always the goal, certainly.
Yeah.
And what is the future of the show, you may be asking? What is the future lie for the show? Well, I'll tell you this, my friends. I have an announcement to make. Okay? I've been working with Mr. Serafix. We've been going crazy trying to figure things out. There's all these files all over the place. Trying to get them together. And it's been a mess. We've been trying our best. And in the coming weeks, my friends, we will announce to you all, we will be bringing the show, the audio version of the show, will be coming to Stitcher, which is a app that, it's one of those apps, I think, that kind of comes on your phone that you can't get rid of. It's a very popular site and app for podcasts.
I'd never heard of it till you mentioned it to me.
Yes, it's a big deal. The show will be coming to Stitcher, and the show will also be coming to iTunes. Yes.
Not to be confused with nose tunes or mouth tunes.
And hopefully we can work out a deal with Apple so that you were forced to have the show just like the U2 album was forced on us all. It's kind of funny because I never had it before, iTunes, but I had to make the I had to download it so I could make the account and everything. to put the show on there, and I noticed that I had the U2 album instantly.
Aww.
So, and we are also working to have every MP3 of every show ever up on the website, and hopefully we'll get them also on iTunes and Stitcher as well, potentially. There's been we hit some snares in hitting and getting the stuff on, like all the episodes on there. It's really because like the way like iTunes works is you have to have the files on your own server, your own what do you call it? Your own area that you own and pay for the space.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of link it over to that.
Tuh.
And it's been all kinds of issues with that, setting that up, and space, like to store that much stuff, is really quite expensive.
Yeah, but yeah.
You want to start coughing, maybe not in the microphone.
I'm coughing away from it. It's just powerful.
Don't tell me you're smoking or something, are you?
I'm not smoking, John.
We have to get some kind of vapor for the room, like a
Maybe it's dry in here.
All right.
I don't know, but so the space is expensive and frustrating.
Yeah, it's been annoying to get to do what we want. And you basically have the stuff. We have all the files on our website. Then you need a third party in between person that kind of converts it all, and then it goes to iTunes. That's basically how it works. And we've had compatibility issues and all kinds of problems. But we're working to get that done. And what I've kind of learned from this is like YouTube. Like people complain about YouTube, but YouTube's freaking incredible.
You just go, hey, look, file, go. It's
freaking like no one should ever really complain about it. Like I'm not saying Google's a good company or anything, or that the site's perfect, but the fact how easy it is to do everything, and you just upload, and there's no size limits, and you can just basically upload shit all day, and you can put people put ads on it and make money and everything. I mean, it's just insanely easy and incredible that even exists. And what other service allows you to do that? Just upload like endless amounts of stuff. It's crazy.
Seriously, yeah, it's kind of absurd.
I mean, I'll put them up. Once you start like messing with other things, and you kind of realize like, oh well, it's not that bad over there.
You realize that it's annoying and terrible in its own way, but it does do some things very right.
Yeah, it's certainly in a league of its own, But so going forward, what we'll be doing with the show, since we're going to be having on iTunes, having on Stitcher, having on the MP3s on the StayBallsy.com, we're going to put more of an emphasis on the audio side of the show. And because what I really want, my goal for this, what I really want people to do is, every Thursday morning or Wednesday night, whenever it comes out for you, like you download it easily, it's very easy to do, and then you got it with you, and you can just put it on when you want to listen to it,
Take it with you anywhere, an audio show beyond compare. Listen to Rambo and OJ all through the day.
That's the official commercial. That wasn't even OJ doing that now. That was an audio that we just played.
If it was me, it would be coughing like the entire way through.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. 3 years of build-up for this to hear OJ cough for 2 hours.
I actually muted the microphone a minute ago and like coughed horrendously and then turned it back on, so I think I'm clear for a while.
There's an option here, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna try to focus more on the audio side of it. So what that means is basically we might not always have an elaborate intro. There's not going to be a lot of if there is visual stuff to the show, we'll describe it better, instead of just being like, hey, look at this, and not really say what it is or anything like that. And
I thought we tried to say what it is, but we might not have always done.
No, we're gonna do a better job of it because we really want people to download it easily and enjoy the show. But like with that being said, we will still do the YouTube version. We will still do the live stream version, and if you'd like to see our beautiful faces, then you have the opportunity to watch that as well.
And now it'll be even harder for you to tell if I'm wearing pants.
Well, they can still see you because we will be doing the videos and everything.
Yeah, but not from you won't be able to tell that from listening to it on iTunes.
They can always go back to YouTube and check your pants status if they choose to do, or they can just leave it up to their own imagination. Like I don't really want to know if he's got the pants or not. I'm going to make my own decision and just believe that.
I actually had to, for work, I actually got to call something check pants status probe.
What does it do?
It checks the status of pants with a probe.
What do you mean?
I don't know, but there's something called pants, and we have to check its status with a probe.
So it's called the chick's pants status probe?
Yep.
Was this like the big joke of the day for everyone?
I loved it. I didn't even mind the fact I had to set it up on a Sunday. I'm like, nope, this is worth it.
The women at the office, do they find it funny as well? You'll be very careful not to...
What? Everybody wears pants.
Yeah, but you got to be careful, you know.
True.
Like, you can't walk up to the female employee. Do you want to use the chick's pants status probe on me? You know what I mean? It's a HR issue.
That's an HR nightmare.
Have you ever had to deal with HR?
Not in that capacity, no.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Did they give you like the classes, how to talk to each other and what's right and wrong and stuff like that?
They give you stuff like that when you first get hired.
But there's never like I guess if there's a problem, they come in and then they got to do it.
There's a follow-up class that they give every couple of years.
So you've had to do this.
Everybody had to, and it was kind of funny ridiculous? Too. It was kind of ridiculous, yeah.
They're like, don't grope. Don't grope.
They're like,
yeah.
Oh, not just that. Like, don't follow people from work around the grocery store.
Wow. This is probably stuff that's happened. That's why they have to say it.
That's a little excessive.
Like, you ever get a product and has all these warnings on it?
Oh, yeah.
Don't stick in your eye. Don't, because the reason is because people did it. And I think if someone does it, then they have to put that on there, right? Don't insert anally.
Warning, contents may be hot.
Yeah, I think that's the law. Like, if someone actually has the problem, then they have to put it on there, because if someone else does it, they can go, well, it didn't say not to do that. Right?
Yeah, the I don't understand common sense
it didn't
laws.
say not to jab it in my face.
Yeah.
You know? This battery.
I thought you were supposed to eat batteries. They're called piles.
I was trying to get the power, the sweet nectar power inside, into my lungs. So I'm trying to say here is we're still going to be doing everything the same we've been doing. But it's going to be more of a focus on the audio. And we'd like everyone to download it via your preferred method. And that's it. So I would also like to make a note. Next week we'll not be here for the show, because we're trying to make sure everything is set up working properly. And we also have some other business to attend to. But we will be relaunching the show in 2 weeks.
Yep.
With all our new stuff going on. Excruciaments, right?
Yeah. Speaking of sorry. Speaking of the of focusing on the audio.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how old this music video is. I think it might be a few months old. It seems like it was made to look like the 80s.
Okay.
There's a music video by a woman named Allison Blair.
I see.
Called The Sight of the Sound.
Yes.
And it's basically, the singer is Dazzler from the X-Men. You know, Allison Blair. Going through a day in her life, singing like this 80s style song.
Wait, when was this made?
It was either I think it might have been within the past 3 months. It's been around doing the rounds on YouTube and Reddit and stuff.
So someone made like a Dazzler tribute?
Yeah, but yeah, of all the people.
What was this relevant for?
We were talking about focusing on the audio, and in my head I tried to come up with a jingle like, like John Rambo presents the show. Now with more audio. Pay attention to the sight of the sound. I'm like, oh yeah, that's where I got that phrase from. Because it's from the video.
You're trying to give credit.
Yeah. I didn't actually say it until now, but yeah.
OJ's in a mood tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
You have idea, folks.
One last thing I want to say. Because sometimes people come to me and they go, if there's if there's something I could do to help you with the show or with your stuff, I'd like to help in some way. So I have quite the task if anyone wants to do this, or maybe several people want to do it. Okay, John, if you want to do it too, that'd be great. For iTunes, we need to have a description of episodes of the shows. And we can't just stick in the the timestamp thing, because it's not really going to make a lot of sense for iTunes. So if someone wants to take the time to go through, because the early episodes did have a description. I don't know when the cutoff was.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like episode 50 or something. Maybe it was, I'm not sure. But if somebody wants to go through and write a description of what the hell each show is about, that'd be really awesome. Then we could actually use that and just paste it in. Otherwise, it's just probably going to be the show 134, no description. At least for a long time, until I have time to do it, So, let us know if you'd like to take on that terrible task.
This onerous duty.
Yeah. So I kind of get into some show moments, John. Pretty much focus on the best moments, I think. But maybe we can start off with the worst moments. Do you have a worst moment of the show? I have one.
Worst moment. What?
No, I think the worst moment for me personally was when Rice Spirit asked the question about if the snake bit you in the scrotum. Would you suck the poison from the other person? I immediately answered yes. Yes, OJ, I would suck the poison from you if you were going to die from the poison. And then we said, John, would you do it for me? And he refused to answer until maybe 3 shows later. Then he goes, yes, I would. But for those 3 weeks, I was very upset. It was tough to sleep, and I felt abandoned by him. That he would let me die.
If I didn't, never mind.
So for you, was there ever a time on the show where you just didn't want to? You were like, want to just hang up or quit, or something you just hated so much? You're like, I don't want to do this tonight or something.
I don't think so. I mean,
program.
I'd always get really embarrassed during the times when you'd call places, but
you weren't even on the line.
Nothing like that.
You would just you were just mute, right?
Yeah. I wasn't involved. I was just like, oh gosh, this can only end in tears. But no, I mean, there's nothing that really bugged me that much, I think, except for I don't know. I'm wondering if there's times you pestered me to talk about stuff I didn't want to talk about.
I was about to ask you that. But you know what? I think at times you're uncomfortable, but I always get feedback from people, and they say, I love when you just keep, digging with OJ.
Of course they do. You're hearing stuff from somebody who doesn't want to talk about what you're hearing.
It's not them on, under the hot lights. I think you do a good job. I think you do a good job of not going too far with things you don't want to say.
I hope so.
You tend to say it in a way that you want to say it, and not just like this is exactly what went on.
Yeah.
But I don't think you've ever said anything so bad, right?
I don't think so.
Could you still run for president or for governor based on things you've said on this program?
Maybe. I don't think my political stance is all that.
Yeah, but they, I'm saying, they dig things up. Oh, he was involved in this. Look.
I don't know, man.
Do you have aspirations for political office anyway, though?
I'm having problems aspirating right now, but I was never planning on running for office.
All right, so it doesn't matter then. So there's no moments John really hated. He just maybe doesn't like when we would push him. But I think after it's over, I think you understand and you enjoy it. How about that? Is that right?
Maybe. I don't know.
We're gonna go with that.
Sure.
So here's a couple things, John. From different moments of the show. I went through the big playlist today, just kind of pulling some stuff and pulling some different moments. Maybe you could elaborate more, the backstory on some stuff.
Sure.
I want to start with episode number 9.
Uh-oh.
This is the first time we had a guest that was outside of our circle of friends. I think our first guest ever was Phil. And then we had Grog on.
Oh, Grog, yeah.
That was within the first 8 episodes. We were already sick of each other going towards the guests at that point. But,
when did we have Venomous Fat Man on?
It was a little later on. I'm no show historian, but, We had episode number 9, we had Jenny Kelly on, who ran a YouTube channel. And it was the first time we kind of approached someone that we didn't know.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a strange thing, right? I was like, I don't know what to have on. It was around Thanksgiving, and we need a food person, and I just found her channel and everything. And it's interesting listening to some of that. She did a lot of green screen work.
Yeah.
And we were amazed by it at the time. We're like, how do you do this? And she's like, oh, it's not that hard. Just set it up and light it, and we were like, we can't do that. And then perhaps we were inspired, John, to use green screens in our future projects.
They helped out a lot.
So maybe it all began there. I think every time we had someone on, you always kind of take something from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else to say about that, Jenny Kelly?
We haven't heard from her in a while.
You're mad at her because of that.
No, I'm just like, dang, we just kind of never went back.
Well, she
Check
was on
up on her,
before.
make sure she was okay.
I did check her channel out. She hasn't posted anything in like 4 months.
Aw.
So hopefully she's just, busy or she got a nice gig or something. I don't know. But
If she wants to do a reunion tour or something.
Absolutely. The next one, episode number 15 of the show, which began our intros. That was the first time we did an intro. And I'm truly proud about this, some of the intros we've done. I don't think there's a show really that's done something like that for so long. So many different various... Usually people just have one, they just throw it. It's like a canned one, right? And they just throw it in. And maybe once a year they change it or something. But a lot of crazy ones. A lot of fun ones. A lot of good ones.
Some were effing nuts.
What is with you? What do you mean effing nuts?
I jumped off a building!
That was beautiful. Even OJ got in on the fun. OJ jumped off of a building. Yeah, we'll talk about some of those coming up, but I'm going to talk about episode number 16, which is when we went to MagFest. And MagFest, it's just a huge deal in so many ways, looking back on it. I remember the coolest thing about it is we sold a t-shirt before we ever got to the table. Do you remember this?
That guy at the stairs?
Yeah, we just got there. We just got up to go to the table. We had a table, and we had our JohnRamboPresents shirts at the time.
Yep.
And we had never really appeared anywhere. We didn't know if anyone's going to really know who we were or care or give a crap. But not even making it to the table, a dude runs over. Hi, I like you. I want a shirt now. Sold the shirt. Boom.
To be fair, he didn't have a shirt at the time, so he was desperate for a shirt.
What?
I'm kidding.
Why are you trying to ruin this beautiful story that I cherish?
Because I'm a bad person.
You should feel good about it too, John.
I do. I am. I just thought I was just making a joke, man.
All right, it's fine. Yeah, it was someone that was like, yeah, his clothing was stolen from him. He was completely nude and whatever you have.
He used
Are
it
you
as
happy
pants.
now? I joined in on the joke. You happy? He peed his pants. Is that what you said?
No, I said he used it to replace his pants.
I thought you said he peed his pants.
No, that was later.
Wow.
That never happened.
So that was awesome, and then I brought another thing. That was one of the cool things that happened. And then another thing was I brought the camera, and I started just filming stuff, not really planning that I was going to make some kind of crazy video, but I just filmed a lot of different things throughout the couple days.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I got home, I kind of realized I could edit stuff, right? I could do that.
And that was the beginning.
And I made an edited video that was very popular, and then that kind of started the wheels turning for future stuff that we did. And I don't know if it would have happened if it's all about building on that confidence, John.
Yeah. Little steps building to something much bigger.
And the other thing that happened was we met, OJ did it, John Patrick Lowry on Ellen McClain.
Yep.
Who was the sniper, who is GLaDOS. And OJ was ballsy enough. He goes right up to them. I'd like to have you on our show. My name's OJ. I'm the host. There's this other fucking guy that does it with me. He's not very good.
Oh, come on.
And what they gave us, they're like, okay, listen, you got to talk to our agent. It's this guy, Chris. And they came on. I sent this guy Chris an email, and he goes, okay, they'll be willing to do it. We just sent him some samples of the program.
Yep.
There wasn't too many at the time, so now I'm having the talking problem.
I know.
Freaking seasons,
contagious.
man. So there wasn't too many episodes of the show at the time, so there wasn't too much damning evidence that would against us. So they were like, okay, yeah, they'll do it. And those were episodes 19 and 20, respectively, that we had them on. And this guy Chris, he listened to what we did, and he's like, you guys did a great job. I want to give you I have a whole roster of people. I'd like you to have them all on. And we had made an agreement with this guy, and he started feeding his people week after week. And he's like, is there someone specifically like a certain type of person that you want to have on that does a certain thing. Like, no, anyone. Because, like, again, I just wanted to, my whole thing was just, like, I wanted to learn, and, like, interviewing someone that you don't even, like, have anything in common with at all would be interesting, or, you know, like a just totally out there different thing, or just different types of people. It's always good. So I was like, anyone you have that wants to come in, we'll have them on. And that led to Allison Packard. Wonderful.
Very nice person. Very funny.
She's still doing all kinds of great stuff.
Yeah.
If you look at our Twitter, she's got all kinds of cool videos coming out.
She just had a music video come out recently, too.
Yes.
Another one.
Jason Charles Miller, who was the lead singer of Godhead, and he was on Marilyn Manson's record label. I was really proud of that interview. Like, that was something really different, and I thought it was a good interview with a musician. Very different.
Yeah, because, you know, and I wonder if that was different from most of the interviews that the guy ever went to.
Hopefully he liked it. I don't know.
Yeah.
You kind of lose track of the people afterwards, you know, sometimes. Sometimes, not this next one. There was a few other people that he gave us as well. And eventually the guy just disappeared. I don't know what happened, but the main thing that came of this was Mr. Ed Trotta was introduced to us by this gentleman.
And on that day, everything changed.
It's very true, John, and I don't know if you remember this, but at the time we were doing the show like this, it wasn't live, and a lot of the times what we would do, people don't know, is we would record the guest first. So like 8 o'clock, we'd have the guest come, we would record the guest, and then we would do the first part of the show after that.
Yeah.
And the reason we did that is because we didn't know how long the guest would be on. We always wanted to kind of hit that hour and a half point. Yep. So we would just do as long as we could with the guest, and then we'd go back to the beginning up until like to fill in the time. So it was kind of weird, but I don't know. That's what we did. And the first time Ed was supposed to be on, there was a miscommunication where we were sitting there at 8 o'clock waiting for him to call the Skype. He just never did. And I think like a half hour went by, and I don't know what was going on. Yeah. And I had to contact this guy Chris, and he was like, "Oh, I gave Ed the wrong time," or whatever happened. But I remember at like 8:20, I'm like, just we're not gonna have him on. Just forget it. And we almost just gave up on it, like never even having him on, and it never would have happened, right?
That would have been a tragedy.
Do you remember this though? I was like, all right, we give him 10 more minutes, and if he doesn't call, then we'll just do it without the guest.
Yeah.
But we decided to wait it out, and then all of a sudden there he was, and there it came, man. And Ed has become a great friend, a great member of the program. He's basically the third member of the show because he's been on every month. And I would say this about Ed: I don't think there's anyone like him on earth to be someone that is that talented, but also that kind of person that is just so just kind towards people and has so much like empathy towards people.
Yeah.
And just a guy that will just help you with whatever you need. And the gentleman truly is my hero. And he sent me a package this week.
Oh?
It was sent to our P.O. Box. P.O. Box 2567, Danbury, Connecticut, 06813. He sent me some scripts that he had written. One's from 1991. One's from a little bit later on. It's wonderful. And then he has a handwritten note that he included in this package. And he wrote the words on it, John. He wrote, "We can't give up. We can't give up."
Nope.
And beautiful penmanship. And just really just an amazing thing, right?
Yeah. Very inspiring.
So I must say one of the greatest things that have come from doing the show is getting to meet Ed. And just having him as part of my life is a wonderful thing.
Even if nothing else had come of the show, right, meeting Ed makes it all the time and effort worth it.
Luckily, there's been many good things.
True. But still.
Episode number 21, John, was a few days before this. We had released Shazman and Hole Punch, the first episode. On a Sunday afternoon, we put it out, and we had no explanation. We didn't say it was coming out. Mm-hmm. We didn't say we're doing a project. Nothing. It just all of a sudden here it was. So much of this episode was explaining what the hell we had done and what you had just seen. And I believe on this episode I said we would like to do 2 episodes a month. Something like that.
I was about to smack my head into the desk, but
I was like, we're going to do at least 1 a month, but perhaps 2 a month. And meanwhile, we did 9 over the course of 2.5 years. But it was a lot better than we ever thought it could be. So,
It came out very well.
But I just love that idea of just no build up for anything. Just boom, here you go. And if you look at the early comments on that, people are just like, huh? I don't know. So I remember one of the comments like, I don't know about this. I think it was like the first one ever.
Yeah.
I don't know about this.
Well, we showed you, man. I hope you enjoyed it.
Episode 31 was the Ramborgia special, which we had all different people on. It was the first time we really opened it up the phone lines, even though it wasn't live at this point. We basically just gave a few people out there that we knew were. I think we actually asked if you'd like to come on,
and we gave them a time.
Send us your info or whatever, and we gave them times. We actually recorded over 2 days, I think, because we were both 2 hours long or something.
Yeah,
you remember this?
It was pretty. It was a lot. We did split it. I don't know if we did. I think we did Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, it was 2 different days, and then it was 2 different parts. Yeah, well, yeah, we met a lot of different people at that point. It was the first time a lot of people came on, like Hazard, dudes like that.
Cool folks.
Cyber Demon. I was talking to Cyber Demon today, actually.
Demon Cyber.
Yep. So this brings us to episode number 35, which many people believe to be the greatest show episode of them all.
Which one?
It is, of course, the Ice Cream Chronicles episode.
Oh, yeah.
People seem to always bring up. I was at Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con last year. For an hour straight, I just stood in the middle of the place giving out cards. And no one said anything to me about, I know you or anything. There was one girl who took a card and looks at me and just says, "Johnny, you're on the edge, and I like it." She took the card and left.
Nice.
So, I don't know. I've listened to it again, and just to try to figure out what people like so much about it. And I think it's just it's just so raw, it's just talking this is what happened.
Dude, that just some of the stuff that went on and the way you nonchalantly talked about it.
Yeah. It was basically like the ice cream mafia, basically, right? And we talk about the boss, and this guy's just a completely crazy person, but he's a big influence on me. And I always think about him if I'm working on something and I'm just getting tired, or I don't know, I just lose the motivation. I always think about him and how intense that dude was, and how he just killed himself. He just wanted success and just wanted to do well.
We need to sell more ice cream.
Yeah, right. And I just think about that.
Do it!
And it just gives me the second wind I need sometimes, to get through what I got to do. There is one story from then that I think I forgot to tell. It's only a small one.
What?
It's a small story that I left out. And every time we do a show, do you find this true as well? If you tell a story, sometimes after the fact, you go, oh shit,
That's my life.
I forgot to say this part.
That's my life.
I wanted to mention this, but it's hard to get everything in.
I could have a super important conversation that's of the utmost importance, and then afterwards I leave the conversation and go, gosh darn it.
It's hard to get everything in, though, when
normal.
you're going off the top of your head, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's normal. That's what happens.
Yeah, maybe it just wasn't meant to be, but there is a story here I don't believe I told on this episode. There was a park. That is a huge place. It's got the jungle gym. It's got multiple baseball fields. It's got all that stuff, right?
Okay, I think I know which one you're talking about.
It's up by the post office, up there.
Post office.
You're not from here anymore, don't worry. So there's this park, and there's always a lot of people in it. So, of course, the boss goes, you got to go to this park and sell the stuff. And just like I told you way back when, oftentimes he would send you places but not give you all the information. Like, hey, go to this 4th of July fireworks, but by the way, we don't have a permit to be in this state, and you're not really supposed to be there, and that's where I almost got arrested. And I talked about it on this episode, but it just happened over and over again, where he'd send you places not telling you that you're not really supposed to be there, or he doesn't have the proper paperwork or whatever, and eventually the cops would get involved. So he goes, go to this park. one day I go to the park and I'm just selling stuff like crazy. It's really like, this is awesome, you know. But then of course the cops come, and somebody calls, and then they point out there's a big sign that I obviously missed going into the place that says, you know, you cannot. There's no vending allowed. There's no whatever the term is in this park.
Yeah.
So I go back to the boss and go, listen, you can't go there. There's no vending allowed in here. No one could go in there. So of course he has to curse up a storm. He's very upset, very mad about this. The next day I come in, and he goes, you're going back to the park. And I go, what do you mean? Because I drove over there last night, and I figured it out. So I just imagine this guy going out there because I bring the truck back. It's probably 10 o'clock at night. So he's so mad at this point after I tell him that we can't go. He jumps in the car, drives there to look around the premises to see what he could do. Think about this.
He just like roved around looking to see what he could do.
I imagine him going through crawling over fences and digging holes and stuff, you know. So he goes, all right, listen. On the north wall, there's a fence, and there's grass, and it's something about the land there. It's not private property, right?
So
he goes, all right, you're gonna drive on the grass off this one road, and you drive along the fencing in the woods, and you're gonna get to a point where the fence opens. It's the outside of the fence, and the people in the park can see you from this spot. So if you do this, and you get to the side of this fence, you have to park. You have to park against the fence, and
just pushed up against it.
You're pushed up against it, right? And you blast the music so they could hear you. And then when they're going to come up to the fence. You have to serve them over the fence. So what you kind of have to do is climb a little bit up the fence to give them the stuff. And I did this probably a couple times before I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I'd have to so the part of the truck that opens, you put that against the fence. And then if someone buys something, they have to reach over the top. You take the money, and then you kind of climb over a little bit, and then you dump the stuff.
Go on, sell the ice cream and run.
So yeah, that's the story the lost story.
Wow. Well, and you got away with it.
There was nothing they could do.
Because, hey,
he
if
figured
it's
it out.
completely legal, what are you supposed to do, right?
He figured it out. We're going to serve the people over the fence. What could they do? And I thought the people, in my mind, I'm thinking the people will never do this, right? The people will never come and go climb this fence to get the ice cream, but they did it. Old, middle-aged women.
Oh man, they probably were just oh my gosh, this is so fun, ha ha ha.
They didn't care.
Look how hard it is to get ice cream, ha ha ha.
I think when you're outside, it's hot. You just don't care. You just want to get the soda. You want the whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just kind of scoot over this fence a little bit, whatever. But my favorite part about that is just the idea that he goes, I went there last night. And I'm thinking I got back here 10.
So what was he doing, and how late was he there?
Yeah, what exactly did he do? And then the way that he found this route, you're driving down the street. It's a main road. You turn off the street into nothing. And you go on this dirt path, and then eventually you get to the fence. But I'm just thinking, how the hell did he even figure this out? It's unbelievable. I don't know. There's a lot of lessons in that, I think. There's always a way.
Yeah, and it's even better when it's legal.
And it's crazy.
Well, the crazy part doesn't necessarily make it better, but it certainly adds something to the proceedings.
Episode number 37 was the OJ show. It's the only show that I did not appear on. Tell us about that.
Well, we got Howard to agree to fill in for you for the day when we couldn't have you, and I guess I tried to run the show with Howard co-hosting, and it went all right. I think it was enjoyable, and we got some cool stuff out of Howard, and we had a fun time, but we missed you, John.
There's a thread on our website of our people's favorite show moments, and someone said that was their favorite show, and I'm like, the one that I'm not on. Wow. Very hurtful.
Dude.
Well, it was still called JohnRamboPresents the show, so it was still me.
John.
But John,
Nothing was meant to be
you're
hurtful.
not good as us. Me and Howard are better. We're a better
That's
team.
not what I meant at all.
We're a better team.
No, I just meant that we didn't fail.
Episode number 47 is when we launched StayBallsy.com, unbelievably.
That early on? Wow.
47, yeah, that was a busy time. I think we just put out... That was a crazy freaking couple of months, man. So I did E3. I did Too Many Games, did the videos for that. Schnoz Man Hole Punch came out in August. Then the website launched at the end of August. Then the show 50 was a couple of weeks after that. It was a lot of stuff happening. Well, yeah, we launched the website. It was made by Carlos, who made the original site, and Serafix, of course, working on the new site, the current site. I don't know, I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't think we've ever really figured out like the sweet spot for the website, or like what could be on there. People would like daily go to it and stuff. So it's always a work in progress, you know. But it's good to have. It's good to have the real estate if you need to use it, you know. I think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Episode number 50 was the first live show. And not only did we go live, we also added video and live and
crazy
calls.
Stuff. Yeah, it was a bit crazy.
It was an explosion of things. And we actually didn't know if we weren't planning on going live every week. It just seemed like it was so easy to do once you figure it out. And that's the thing. It's the thing we're going through with the iTunes right now. And that's what I've always kind of noticed. Time I got a new program or try to do something, it's always just really annoying and difficult at first. But once you like get down, then it's like clockwork, right?
Yeah. So your first time using some of this stuff for that episode must have been,
well, getting set up for it was really nerve-wracking. I don't know if we could do it. I'm not sure. But then once we got down, it was so simple to do, and we actually did 2 years straight until today. It's just crazy. So people, there was a little bit of a backlash at that point. Some people didn't like the live show, didn't like the live calls. Other people really did like the live calls. So it was an interesting point. It was kind of a crossroads, I think, in a lot of ways. But I think we did what we thought was the best. Whether we think that's right or wrong, we did what we thought would be the best.
That's what we did.
And yeah, I don't know. What are you going to say? But that's it. And, episode number 58 was the first time you and I were both on camera in the same room for the show. Episode number 7, we did the show in the same room for number 7 very early on.
But that was just recording.
It was just a recording, but it was because of a storm came and destroyed my entire town, so I had to go to OJ.
Yeah.
And then episode number 58, the same thing happened. So it was like a year later.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Like, but right around Halloween, both times, it was just doom.
Yeah, it was basically like very close to a year later that I had to come live with you. And we've done several shows together in the same room. Most of them not because we like planned on it. Usually because like my computer's broken, because of a storm, because like my power's out. Something always a problem with me. OJ's the hero.
Hardly. I'm just the backup. I'm the backup plan. What? I'm the emergency fallout shelter.
Wow.
What?
All right. That's if you want to put it. I said you were a hero. I'll change it to fallout shelter. Fine.
You're the real hero, sir.
You're Hole Punch. You're a hero. Okay. So, do you like doing the show in the same room? What do you feel about it?
It's pretty fun. It means that like it's a lot harder for me to blow my nose or cough or do something without bugging the frill out of you.
Yeah.
But
very sensitive.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm usually I like when we plan it. I think the last time we did it was actually a few weeks ago, but it wasn't planned.
Just kind of
all of a sudden I gotta show up and it's real like stressful because I gotta pack all the stuff, set it all up.
Yeah, because it doesn't quite work right for my machine.
And then like I usually plan things to do and then it changes it because we're together and it's just. But if we actually like plan it and then I'm like, oh, this is better. But
yeah, it's nice to have.
It abruptly happens. And it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Episode 61 is a Black Friday show which we've done every year.
Yup.
Usually with Phil. I think Howard was in maybe one or two of those. Maybe some other people might have been in them. I don't remember actually.
Yeah, I'm a little fuzzy on that point.
Those are always fun. Going through the Black Friday stuff, people seem to really like those a lot. Episode 77. This is what we were talking about earlier today, which was OJ's prom stories. Which is probably one of my favorites. So this is another one people bring up quite a bit as their favorite episode. This is the one where I really got deep into just pushing OJ to talk about high school love life and going to the prom and all the weird stuff that went on with this. And he didn't really seem to want to talk about it, but we got him.
I need to find those photos. I really need to find those photos.
What are the photos of?
The prom.
What was going on? What's in the photos? Just you?
Just me and my dates.
I couldn't even figure out the story. It was like you had one date and you had like 4 different dates.
No, I had 2 dates, but my dates every year were someone else's girlfriend.
Oh yeah, that was it. One of them got a boyfriend after you asked, and she's like, "I'll still go with you though."
Yeah.
And then you did it. You're like, all right. Do you have?
Okay?
Let me ask you this question, right? So, like, we talk about these things, and then do you maybe get a different perspective on these things that happened to you after you've spoken about it?
I don't know. I mean, I've spoken about it before.
Like, it's almost like a psychiatrist, almost.
I hope not. Those are expensive.
So it doesn't really give you any kind of different.
I don't know. I mean, I've spoken about it before. It just never really came up, I guess.
Okay. Do you have? Let me ask you this. I'm not going to ask you to say any stories, but do you have like something from your past that's really like on this level that you haven't spoken to us about?
You mean like on this level of good story, or on this level of awkward?
A story that people would want to hear.
Dude, there's always stories people want to hear that you do not want to share.
But is it okay?
Always.
Do you think there's one that you might share someday?
I don't really have anything that good that I'd ever want to share.
Okay, well, would you consider this a good one? Because people thought it was good, even though you may not have.
I don't know. That was good enough. I mean, it's an interesting story. It's kind of funny. It's the sort of thing that if I were a stand-up comedian, I would be mining the frell out of it.
All right, so John's being non-committal on the past story. So maybe someday we got to mine them out. That's the only way to do it. Right.
Aye.
Episode number 81 was OJ's In the Sky, and number 88 was Morph. And those were fun times, man. Just like getting these weird ideas for songs and making intros out of them, you know.
I don't know, man. You're anti-Cyclops shenanigans.
OJ's In the Sky was fun because it's one of those moments where John's very open to do stuff. And I go, John, I need you to record yourself, make it look like you're flying. And then he just does like all this footage, man, so much. We should probably do like a director's cut or something like.
Well, I tried so hard to get something that looked right. Like I wanted to make it look like I was flying, so my first thought was I'd lay on top of this ottoman. No, I'd lay on top of a boogie board and like pretend I'm flying. Then I thought I'd lay on top of my ottoman, and what I did was I covered the ottoman and the boogie board with my green screen and then laid on top of it, but it's really hard to keep your legs and arms in a Superman position unsupported. That's actually an exercise people do.
Yeah, right.
And it really hurts. Like, you do like 3 to 5 seconds 10 to 15 times, and you're like, okay, that's a set, we're good here.
One thing I'm going to say, like, anytime I ever ask John to do something like this, he really tries his best. So I try not to really give it to him too much, because I don't want him to kill himself, but I was really impressed. I thought he was going to do like I was expecting like a little like 5-second thing, but he did probably like 20 minutes worth of footage of him just all kinds of different positions and flying, and then I think it came out pretty nice.
Well, thank you. I had no way of knowing if it was going to look good or not, so I tried to do just as much as possible.
One thing about the show intros, and they really talk, like the show intros are so open and like you could do anything with those. And a lot of the things that I learned had to do with effects and editing came from the intros, and then I apply it towards the Sean's Man Hole Punch, like the latest episode, right? But they're all kind of like the demos. Like,
yeah, it lets you figure out the tech.
Okay, it doesn't have to be great. So it's just an intro for like a 2-hour show, so it doesn't have to be like amazing, you know. And it's a lot of like freedom to suck in those, and it's just, like I learned so much from just doing all of them.
You know what I never realized until just now?
Yes.
This is like an 1.5-hour show.
Yeah.
This is the entertainment equivalent of a movie.
It took you 3 years to figure this out?
Yes.
We've done like 3-hour shows too,
I know. But it just strikes me now, like, holy pants. If someone sits down, just kind of chills out, listens to this, or watches the YouTube video.
Well, do you you listen to podcasts and stuff, right?
Occasionally.
I do it pretty much all day. Like at work, in the car,
Well, there's only like one that I really follow, and they only update like bi-weekly. So
Okay, so I listen to a couple different ones, and I listen to all wrestling ones actually. I listen to
that's fine.
Yeah, actually I'll put them over. I listen to the Law liveaudiowrestling.com, I think is the. So and they do like a different show every couple days, and
Wednesday Night Law.
it's just an awesome thing to what? It's an awesome thing just to to have like on your disposal when you can't watch something or you're trying to you're doing something like you don't really want to be doing like at work or driving a car or you have something you can put in that's enjoyable. So I think we've been that for people as well, hopefully, and now that we're expanding to other platforms, I mean it's gonna be easier to do that. So it's definitely the goal, I think, right?
Yeah.
Episode number 98, Mr. Angus Cheng appeared on this program, and that was one of the best guests we ever had.
The genius developer himself.
Mr. Angus Cheng, special thanks to Angus Cheng. Funny story, we sent him an Oya. I obtained Phil's Oya, he gave it away. He was going to throw it out, and I took it. And Angus said something on Twitter, like he wanted it one or something, or his broke or something, I think he said, around the same period. So I was like, I'll send you this one. So he was like, oh, I want to pay you or whatever. I was like, no. And he goes, well, I want 5 StayBallsy shirts. So he bought like 5 StayBallsy shirts, and we gave him the Oya, so that was pretty cool.
I'd call that a good trade.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy, man.
I think we both won on that one.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Really cool guy.
Nice fellow.
I like him a lot. He came on one more time. He was on once in 2014, once in 2013, once in 2014. Perhaps he'll return someday. I told him anytime he wants to come on, so it's pretty much up to him, So. Episode number 100. Oh, you have something to say about Angus?
No, I'm good.
Episode number 100 was the death of Ron Jambo. Wow. Yeah, I'm not dead. I'm not Jambo or anything.
Nope, definitely
not. And, that was cool because we kind of like built up a storyline over the
that was really fun
of the show. I tried to this year. I tried to get a storyline going, and if you listen to I don't want to just we might continue it, so I don't want to just spoil it. But if you listen to, I think it was maybe the first or second, or maybe the third episode of 2014, we had a little thing going, and that was going to be like the storyline for this year. But then things just got too out of control with the Schnoz Man Hole Punch episode, and so much focus went into that, and the show wasn't running all the time, and it all kind of fell apart. But I had plans for something, but maybe we'll get to it at some point.
Someday.
Do you even know what I'm talking about, or do you kind of remember this?
I don't remember offhand, but I'm pretty sure it'll come to me if I had a few details.
All right, don't worry about it.
Sorry, I'm not braining.
Episode number 108 was a Halloween episode, which has become a classic thing where we go through the various sexy costumes that exist.
Quote unquote sexy costumes.
I find them very sexy. This year is going to be interesting because you might not be around for it, right?
Yeah, we'd either have to record that part in advance,
or I wouldn't be part of it. It'll happen, but OJ may not be part of it, which is going to be kind of sad. But
very sad.
Episode number 122, we're going to skip. Education is when we show the elephant birthing video, which was educational. And, my favorite part about that is I called Howard earlier in the day. Did you know it was coming? I think I told you, right?
You warned me something was coming.
I warned you. I was like, I'm going to show this something like this. And I called Howard earlier in the day, and I go, do you want to come on the show? And he goes, okay. I didn't tell him anything that was going to be happening. All right. That's what we were doing. I just wanted him to be here for this. And I said, Howard, make sure you're watching the stream. And then I played an elephant giving birth video, and we gave commentary over it. And we all learned a lot that day. And we lost half the viewers of the show.
Are you going to bring in later what you did with that video?
Oh, the following week I made an intro where OJ's laying in the afterbirth.
Yeah, using the video from OJ's in the Sky, changing the green screen.
See, I feel like this is stuff that people may not appreciate today. Well, the Ramborgians do, the smart people that exist in this world, but I think maybe long after I'm gone, it'll be found and people go, this guy really had something going for himself. He was ahead of his time. Episode number 128 was the Toys R Us Chronicles, which I really loved because it was you and I and our friend Kevin, who was that was our group for a number of years.
Oh yeah, we rocked it.
So to have our group reunite and be on a live show was very interesting.
It was like the Wonder Twins and then that third guy. I was not the monkey. I was the monkey.
Why do you think this?
Because honestly, would you want to be one of the Wonder Twins? I lucked out, dude. I'm a purple monkey with a suit, and I get to throw stuff at people, and no one cares.
Who's the other twin? You're a Wonder Twin? Who's the other one? What are you even saying?
I was saying you and Kevin were the Wonder Twins, and I was the monkey.
Oh, so you were... Oh. All right, I'll go with that. We talked about Toys R Us, similar to the Ice Cream Chronicles, the Toys R Us Chronicles. Wonderful times.
TRUC.
I do have a job now, which I am building stories for. Someday, maybe.
Oh, boy.
I'll have to end in a disaster, then I'll come forth with the stories. But the Toys R Us thing, I think the only thing I really wanted to mention that I didn't really get into, because I don't know, it just didn't hit me at the time. But afterwards, after I talked about it, I was like, oh, man, this is a whole different perspective on this. It's like these stores, I think they're so corporate in the sense that their corporate office dictates everything, that little thing that happens, where everything's supposed to be, every little thing. I think they kind of miss a lot. I think the people that work for them have a lot more value than they realize. Okay? For instance, like I worked at Toys R Us for several years, and I had a lot of different ideas, as did the other people that I worked with around me, had different ideas of how things should be positioned, the products, different ways we could sell the stuff. But you can't do anything. Nope. Like any creativity that you may have or knowledge that you have from working at the specific store goes out the window. It doesn't matter. Simply because the corporate office said, this has to go here, this has to be like this. Right? And you can't challenge it. You've no say whatsoever. It's certainly like that for the corporate stores that I've worked for, the corporate retail chains. I don't know if they're all like that.
A lot of them.
But we had these things called the planograms. The stupid word. And it actually said where every little thing is supposed to be at. I don't know how they come to this. I think it's probably someone that, some guy goes to Harvard and gets hired out of there as a marketing genius or something, right? Marketing expert, because he went to Stanford or whatever. But I think there's people at the store level that they have valuable opinions because they're there every day. And they're around the customers, they're around the stuff, and they have maybe more of an understanding than a guy that's just in an office somewhere in the shadows. What do you think?
Like just lurking?
No, what do you think about that, though? What do you think about that? I think is that a good point I had, or no?
I think you're on the right track, definitely. I mean, they were, I don't know, man. Just the way that it was very suboptimal.
It should be like mechanical.
Yeah, and the thing is, every store is going to be different. The people who go there are going to be different, and you're not really allowed to reflect that too much.
Yeah.
You're the people in the store will understand this better than those corporate yahoos lurking in the shadows or whatever.
Or at least take into consideration. There's never a point where they're like, hey, let's have a meeting and everyone could give ideas on things. It's just never even.
Nope.
It's like you don't even really exist. You're just there to like be the robot and just do the
You're
thing.
there because technology can't do it for you yet.
Yeah. I think they want like everyone to be expendable, and you don't have any. They can just get rid of you. Just get another another clone of you in. It doesn't really. They don't want that.
Yeah.
So that's always an upsetting thing about it, but.
Their workers are interchangeable parts.
Yeah, that's how they look at it. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, and if you had an idea, then they'd have to maybe compensate you for that if they went through with it or something, right?
I don't think so.
What if you had some like awesome idea and it like changed every store, and then you could come forward and be like, "You owe me this," or I don't know what they think.
You might be able to get a management position out of it.
Episode number 133. OJ cuts his hair. What was that? Oh.
I guess that's a monumentous occasion, sort of.
It's not?
I guess. I don't know. I was tempted to bring the hair and bronze it for you, but I forgot it.
What would I do with this?
I don't know. Have it. Be confused.
I'd probably keep it forever. And I'd pray to it as a shrine.
Or you'd make the worst voodoo doll known to mankind.
That brings us to episode 138, which is today's show. I thought there was a solid opening. The middle part where the coughing was perhaps not well. I think we're in a good rhythm right now. What do you have to say about today's show?
Yeah, the coughing part was pretty bad. Rambo didn't realize that OJ started muting the mic when he coughed a lot. But I think it went fairly... Oh, the clicks?
It's all right.
Sorry. But... dang it. I think it went pretty well. When OJ ran out of water, it became incredibly obvious, but he pushed through and it was awesome.
Very nice.
And they lived happily ever after.
So that's a lot of moments of the show, friends. There's some other stuff too, but there's some stuff that sticks out of my head. And I think my goal has always been with this, if someone kind of stumbled upon this program, I always wanted to just be like, what is this? What the hell is this? And there's these two insane people just rambling on, as I've always wanted people to think. And maybe it's so crazy to them that they'll just continue listening, maybe get sucked in. But I do say I'm very proud of the work that we've done. It's a big body of work. And it was just us. We did it. We did it our way. Right? Mm-hmm. Sinatra. And
don't sue.
And we never really knew how to do anything before we do it. We just do it. And I think the best way to do things is just to do them. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, I mean, well, sometimes you can figure stuff out in advance, but there's some things you're only ever going to learn by trying.
You try them, you do them, and then you learn, and then maybe if you keep doing them, you do better at them. And that's the goal.
One of the ones you don't try without learning a bit in advance is flying a plane.
Yeah. Yeah. The stuff we never did anything dangerous, I guess.
Well, yeah.
It's not really dangerous doing this. I mean,
well, you did have me walk along that ledge about a good 3 feet above the ground and try not to fall and then jump. That was dangerous.
Whoa. Whole Punch did some dangerous stuff.
Oh, you have no idea what dangerous stuff Hole Punch has done.
So that's the show, my friends. 3 years of shows. We thank you for all of the stuff you've contributed, all the artwork.
All the artwork, all the comments, all the tweets, all the twerks, everything. Thank you so much.
Please keep them coming.
Especially the last one.
Oh, yeah. So, OJ, I take it you have a story for us today.
Yep.
A big part of the show has been OJ's Dream World. Is this a dream or something else? What is this?
Well, I have a really long thing, and then I have a slightly shorter thing, which I think might fit better the shorter thing today.
Yeah, go with the shorter thing. We always save what you have for a later date.
Yeah. So this is a dream I had 3 nights ago.
Yes.
I had just finished reading the X-Men Infection graphic novel trade paperback thing.
Yeah.
So in my dream, I was in a weird building. It felt like a house, like an old-fashioned mansion, but it seemed to be in New York City. I was with a few friends, and this reminded me of the comic I just read. And in that comic, the Sublime Corporation was giving people the powers of the X-Men through inhalers.
Ooh.
Excuse me. The feeling I got from this building was very culty.
Okay.
Inside, they were doing quote-unquote scientific tests on 3 people in a dark room. My friends and I wandered in and saw these folks in chairs with colored liquids above their heads. And some of the liquid was being drained out. I wasn't quite sure how that was affecting the cognitive abilities of people there. I think the colors were blue, green, and red, but then the people there started spouting trivia and scientific facts. And maybe they were making them smarter, so the culty scientists folk were preparing for another more invasive experiment. We decided to leave before we A, got caught up in it, or B, saw what sort of hideous things they were going to do to these 3 people. We ended up at my house, and I had a bunch of people over. I was the only one there hosting, so it fell to me to make sure that everyone had somewhere to sleep. I had to find the air mattresses, and I didn't realize that some were already in use, so I was looking for some in the closets when they were already out. And I was really hoping I didn't have to share my bed with any of the guests. And at some point, I left the house, and I was in New York City again. I was with a particular friend of mine, and we wanted to go to the Museum of Natural History, or some other museum that had dinosaurs in it. But the museum itself was partially closed. This is a gigantic building, and when we got there, the entire city was dark and foggy, and the entrance to the museum had a big plastic sheet covering it, like if you were getting a bug bomb in your house. But we went inside anyway and found out under certain conditions we could go in. But my friend kept wandering off in the wrong direction. I had to keep going to find him and pull him back where we're actually supposed to be. So good job there, buddy. It wasn't you. And inside inside we ended up at another building up a floor or two. And while we were there, I don't know how we got into another building inside this building. It doesn't make any effing sense. And then there was another guy we knew who showed up and had a problem. They needed this powerful guy from the city to give him some help. I figured we'd help him get them. We took the elevator back downstairs, and we also wanted pizza. I don't know, so we sent somebody to talk with the powerful guy and steal his pizza for us. And they stole at least one slice, so it wasn't a total loss. So we met up and then realized we had to track some people down. We were all doing all sort of covert stuff now. We found them outside behind a church. They were gathering for a wedding. So naturally, we dressed as priests and infiltrated the setup for the service. On the way over,
Wow.
one of my friend's friends had an inhaler like the ones that they used to give people powers in that X-Men comic. But this wasn't an inhaler for a superpower. It was for beer. It made you smell like beer. I don't know if breathing the fumes would intoxicate you or not, but they shared it with my friend, and I was like, no thanks. I'd rather not A, smell like beer, or B, I'm on an important mission here. I'm infiltrating a wedding dressed as a priest. I don't want to even risk getting drunk. Are you kidding me? So I helped everybody set up the altar, and then I got yelled at for doing it wrong. It was tricky. The altar was a pair of black wooden boxes with fake carpet on the back of it, and we took stuff out of one because apparently we were storing the things for the wedding inside. And when I flipped it over, it looked like a crib. Like almost something you'd have for a baptism or something. And it rocked back and forth, back and forth. As we prepared for the service, the priest, bride, and groom all walked across the street behind the altar. We were in a big open concrete zone in New York City. It was very gray and it was still very dark. Behind us, we could see the river and one of New York's famous bridges. I don't know which one it was. I really have no idea. But as I looked at the sky, I saw that it was brighter over the bridge, which was kind of odd, and I saw that the clouds were roiling in a turbulent mass directly over the bridge. I stared for a few seconds and told everybody, hey, the bridge is too bright for this time of day, but nobody paid attention to me. Until at the far end of the bridge, it began to explode. The clouds began to shoot forward and the light intensified. A shimmering, shining inferno line of fire came shooting up the bridge directly towards our position. Everyone began panicking. I turned to run the corner around a building to my right, and then stopped to look for my friends to, help them get to safety. A taxi came shooting by but didn't stop, and then another one did. One of my friends commandeered it. We stopped by, we hopped in, all my other friends were inside, and we drove off away from the flames. And then I woke up.
Wow.
So
This is a long one.
that's about half as long as the other one.
Did you sleep like 14 hours that day? Or?
No, man. I actually got woken up from a page in the middle of the night for work.
So it could have
That's
been longer.
that's probably how I could remember the dream.
So it could have been longer than that, maybe.
Yeah, it could have been.
Or could it have gone, do you think?
I don't know. We're all in the taxi cab running from fire. I'm guessing we would have found out something about what caused the fire, or we would have had to live in whatever shambles of New York was left after the bridge, or if there was an attack. I don't know.
This seems like something that you should alert the Homeland Security Office about.
Oh, it's not like I'm having psychic premonitions or anything.
It could be some sort of a sign.
Though I will tell you, I'm having wicked
would
deja
call
vu right now.
Just
Like
just
I felt
saying
like
it?
I felt like we had this discussion about the bridge before.
Wow, weird. Maybe that was another
Yeah.
dream where you told me about the bridge.
Whoa, I know bridge vu.
You never told me about this bridge, man.
I know. I don't get it. This is weird. What does it mean, John? What does it mean?
I think you gotta stay out of the city of New York for a while. That's what it means. I think we all should, maybe. I think we should evacuate the whole place.
At least a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the monk? Remember you killed the monkeys in the dream?
Yep. I would have forgotten if you hadn't reminded me and if I hadn't written it down.
How long does it take you to write these down? Do you write them like as soon as you wake up?
Not always, but
this
they take a
specific
while.
one.
I typed it up. I can tell you how long. It's weird. I don't know how long this one took. I can tell you how long the next one took me to write.
All right, so
if that helps.
When did you write this though? As soon as you woke up, or no?
Nah, this was around lunchtime.
So
this was when I was
you
working on Sunday.
You remembered it the entire day?
No, I woke up at like 10 for work.
Yeah.
No, I woke up at 9 for work. No, I woke up at 10 for work, and then at about 12 I wrote it. But the next one.
Do you ever question?
Excuse me.
The reality of the dream? Like
while I'm in it?
When you wake up, like, did that happen or not?
I mean, in the dream, I might wonder. It takes you a second. Yeah.
Because you're still like, oh shit, the city's on fire. Oh, wait, no. Wait, no, there's nothing happening that's interesting at all.
I mean, yeah, I'll tell you, the second dream,
well,
whatever it was, it took me about a half hour to write.
Wow. Put the effort in.
Well, I might have also been stuck working.
How many dreams do you have that, like, you haven't said to us? Because you've given probably a good amount over the years.
I got a bunch, but I haven't really...
You haven't really gone through them all?
I haven't also written down all of them lately.
Do you think you would ever do a publish the dreams? I think that's something we can work on.
I mean, I could do it, but are they that interesting to anybody but us?
No, but I just think it's fun. It would be funny to do it if we made an ebook of StayBallsy, OJ's dream book, and we have all your dreams in it.
The most amazing thing
I think
would
be great.
If we got people to illustrate them.
Oh wow! There was a gentleman by the name of the Gadgeteer who was doing that.
Yeah,
at one point.
yeah, he did that a bit.
That was way back.
Those are pretty
probably
crazy.
Over 2 years ago.
Whoa.
Yeah, what if he's still out there? But
we wish you well, Gadgeteer.
I would love to do this. I would love to have. I just wanted to like again. This goes back to the whole theme of today's show. Just to learn things, not necessarily because we're gonna like sell a lot of them or anything like that, but just we'll learn how to make an ebook.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be something to do.
That would be fun.
If you wrote all these things down, then why not do it? What
it can't hurt.
What it could be is your dream, and then I could give a little blurb, like a couple sentences after each one of my thoughts on it.
That would be good. Okay, yeah, and the other one is about twice as long.
Yeah, we'll have to save it. There's no reason.
It's a story.
There's no reason to blow your whole wad tonight, John. We had a lot more show coming. Okay.
Oh, I know. I just really want to do this at some point.
All right, yeah, definitely don't lose it or anything.
Yeah.
I guess I have to. You were molested as a child. I guess I have to say that. Is that?
You don't have to.
I think it's part of it now. I have to say. All right. Where are we going to go with this? Let's see here.
Oh, remember those days when we had to figure that out?
You know what? Last night I was playing the game on the social media game.
Huh?
Which I've never really ever done before. But I wanted to see. Yeah, okay. I want to see how this works. I've had Twitter since like 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been doing the show. We never really ever promoted the show or like did much outside of like our own accounts. Like, the show's tonight or something like that. Or promoted the channel in any way, really. But last time, like, let me see how this works, how to get involved in this. So it was the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was on. And I actually missed the episode, but I saw it was trending #1. So I made a tweet. And I put hashtag Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because that was the #1 trending thing. I put the picture of the janitors of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I said that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are nothing compared to the janitors of S.H.I.E.L.D. Or have it easy compared to the janitors of S.H.I.E.L.D. And all these people started sending me messages. They started favoriting the thing. It was like
nice.
They got pretty huge. And I started noticing all these people, like, they don't follow me. They're not following, like, they don't know who the hell we are. So I started, like, just talking to them. And I started going, like, one person sent me a message saying LMAO. So I said...
Laughing my aardvark off?
Yeah, so I sent a message saying, yes, that's what we do here. If you'd like to see more, here's the YouTube channel. And then like another guy's like, I just subscribed to your channel. And it was just really like a weird 20 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this is how this works, huh? But I got probably like 3 or 4 people to to follow and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Based off the stupid tweet.
Play the game.
Yeah, it's just a game. I think what people probably do is they just, every time there's a trending thing, you try to say something witty about the hash with the hashtag in there, and then people go, I like this. I will follow you.
Wherever you may tweet.
But that's how it's done, John. You're gonna have to do this for us. No matter what.
I'm just gonna put in cash tags.
And I'm just thinking about it, dude. You know what? I think Bushi did a cash tag and it actually worked.
What?
Yeah, I think they accept those for certain words. He did like cash symbol phone. He wrote, and actually like you click on it and it does the same thing as the hashtag. It's like
weird.
Yeah, I think they do take some certain symbols.
I have to test something now.
You're gonna do it.
I have to do one just to be sure.
Okay. But I think this is your new job. Every time there's a trending topic, you're gonna have to say something funny and then go get people to favorite it, and then go, you just come to the channel. Okay? People put a lot of time into this stuff, obviously. It's wild.
I know, like, people put so much energy into making this work.
Yeah.
Okay, I really regret opening up Twitter right now.
Why?
There's a link to, I don't know what it is, but the title is Sonic Farting Dubstep Remix. And this is why I'm not always on Twitter, folks.
What game is Sonic Farting? Is that like a new thing, a Wii game?
I don't know.
You use the nunchuck to like... you use the nunchuck to disrupt his bowels, and then you use the gamepad to release the gas by scrolling the pen across it. So I didn't see Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I missed that, but I did see Gotham. Did you have a chance to see Gotham?
No.
You're not interested in seeing it?
I have had no time.
Are you gonna check it out maybe at some point?
I'd like to if I can.
I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. If you could watch the first one, that'd be cool. I'd like to just get your opinion on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really feel strongly either way about it. It's kind of like what you would think it would be, like a Fox drama show about Commissioner Gordon. You know?
Interesting.
One of the things about it that I didn't like is just, they're trying to get you to know the people's names because it's the first episode, but the way that they go about it, every time someone walks in the room, they go, like this one guy, his name's like Harvey Bullock. Harvey Bullocks or some Bullocks or something.
Right.
And so, for instance, like he'll walk in a room so you'll know his name. They'll go, Harvey Bullocks. There you are. And like it goes for like every guy. And like the Riddler, he's in it, and he works for the cops. He's like I don't know if you ever watch if you ever watch like CSI or one of the shows. There's always like the person who, like the nerd guy who does the some technical thing that the cops have to talk to, right?
Yeah.
And he has a job. He's like whatever he does. He looks at fingerprints, whatever the hell it is. So it's like him, and then he says something. He starts saying a riddle, and then he's like, "Enigma, you got a serious problem." Just walks out. So you know it's him. You know, like. So I thought that was a little awkward, you know, and some of the lines are just really forced stuff, you know, because people say the '60s Batman show's campy, and it is, right? But I think it's they're not trying to make it like real life, like, but to me, like
they're having fun with it.
To me, shows like this are so much more campier because they're actually trying to be real, but they say things that are just so like no one would ever really say. It just makes it seem so much more weird. Like Gordon's talking to Bruce, he's like, no matter what, I promise you, there will be light. There will be light.
Dude's up and quoting the Proto-Men.
Yeah, it's just like, wow, okay. All right. But, yeah, some of the characters just pop in, like Poison Ivy's in there. She's a little girl. It's basically the episode's about they're trying to figure out who killed Bruce's parents, who killed the Waynes.
Oh my gosh, what is this, Veronica Mars?
So they go to the suspect's house, and there's a little girl in there, and she's got plants, and they actually say like,
is it Harley Quinn?
No, so they actually go, Ivy, go in the other room, Ivy. And then she makes like a weird face with she's sitting with plants, like, oh, Poison Ivy. And so it's like, it feels a little like they're shoehorning in stuff that's I don't know.
Also, Gordon wasn't around that early, was he? No.
There's different versions.
I guess I prefer the Batman Year One Gordon because
there are versions where he actually Bruce did actually as a kid talk to him after the parents were murdered.
Because Gordon always seemed older to me, but not that much older.
There's versions where he arrives in Gotham when Batman arrives in Gotham.
Batman Year One.
Right, so it's a little different. So it's a different version, which is okay. But I feel like Gordon in this one, his girlfriend's like a model. They had sex in the episode. He's got like a nice apartment and shit. I feel like Gordon's the kind of guy that should have like nothing, and he goes.
That's the impression
he always does the right thing, but he's always
and that's
screwed.
why he never wins.
He never wins. He never really gets any kind of anything good, but he always does the right thing no matter what, and that's why he gets screwed a lot. And I think that's how he should be. It doesn't really seem like that's how they're going with this, but I'll keep checking it out for a couple weeks and see what's going on. Catwoman's really weird. She's like a kid. They just show her crawling around different spots.
I'm a little child and I'll crawl around like a kitty cat. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Like that's all she does.
That's it. They just show her crawling around. Okay.
Does Bruce interact with any of those two?
He seems like he's just in the house with Alfred, and then Gordon goes to see him at the end of the episodes and just talks to him.
Because seriously, like, what the heck is Bruce gonna do except fall down an effing pit and be like, "Bats, I'm scared," and then nothing is gonna happen.
I don't know. I don't think Penguin's ever been done the way he's supposed to be done, like in the comics.
In what way?
Well, he's supposed to be like an English guy that's like a mob boss.
Yeah,
that's all he is. Every time they put him on TV or a cartoon or something, he's like an actual penguin.
I was raised by penguins.
Or he's like completely somehow different. This one is just like this real weird nerd guy that is trying to. He works for the bad guys, but he's trying to like take over the group. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. So we were talking about Ghostbusters last week and how we had all the different toys and whatnot. I was thinking about it like during that time period, how it's so different than today. Like if you wanted memorabilia or like just pop culture stuff, even like shirts, it was so much harder to find anything.
Yeah.
Right? Even like we were in high school, I remember I wanted just comic book shirts. Like Captain America's shield. I wanted the Punisher shirt. I wanted things like that. And you just really couldn't find it.
Nope.
It just wasn't around, man. And today there's just so much. It's everything. What did you get? You got the Buster Sword?
Well, okay.
But you had to like special order it from like a catalog or something.
I had a special order from a website that was making it's technically they call it a something fantasy sword. And
they couldn't just sit. But now there's like the official stuff.
Yeah, like I had to go find this random thing, and honestly, I shouldn't have bought it, but I'm happy to have had it, and it served its intended purpose.
I shouldn't have bought it. Why do you say that?
It was a lot of money. I mean, it's cool to have, but it's
You've
not
had
like
it for so long though. It's not like you can only say you shouldn't have gotten it if it broke or something went wrong.
No, I actually what was funny is when I came back from college after doing kendo, I tried doing some of my kendo moves with it, and it was hilarious. Because it's so wide, there's wind resistance.
It's like such a bad sword to
and
have.
And the grip just hurts your hands. Just like
Did you see the trailer for the new Final Fantasy game?
No.
You should check it out. It's pretty good actually. It's back to like modern days, modern futuristic type stuff. But
I would love to see them do a game set in just a modern day.
Yeah, it's not. It's like future,
But then it would be like Shin Megami Tensei or something.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was saying, like, at what point did these companies realize, like, hey, we could just make all kinds of stuff? Like, there was stuff. There was, like, for, like, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, you could have, like, the pajamas, the underwear. Did you have those?
I don't remember.
You had them, come on. The underoos?
Underoos? I don't know if they had turtle ones.
Superman, what'd you have?
Probably a bunny.
What?
I don't know.
Just
never had Superman underoos that I could remember.
Just a generic bunny?
I had something. It might have just been generic underoos with like nothing on them.
You had something. I'm gonna ask your mother.
Excuse me, please don't.
We're gonna have her on here and she'll tell us.
Oh gosh.
Well, I mean, yeah, I just remember like wanting to get stuff. I wanted a freaking shirt for the show. I wanted and they didn't exist.
You had to buy T-shirt paper and print it out your dang self.
That's what we used to do.
Yup.
We used to make our own T-shirts with iron-ons. And then when did things explode? It was like over the last 10 years where like the convention.
The conventions
stuff.
When the conventions started really taking off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when it hit.
And then it's just like
we need Hot Topic tried to do it for a long time.
Like we need to have stuff to sell at these conventions.
And also there's, the third-party shirts that aren't officially affiliated with anything but have all the parody stuff. That's rampant too.
Yeah, plus I guess the online facts, the fact that you just make shirts, all these different sites, you just print out logos and,
Easiest.
It's unbelievable. So conventions-wise, everything's kind of flowing together this last 20 minutes or so, all these topics. Very interesting. So, but speaking of conventions, since we're there now,
looks like totally do this on purpose.
It looks like we're going to New York Comic Con.
Yep.
At least some of the days. I guess we'll have some more information on that. Actually, when the show comes back in 2 weeks, it'll be the day before Comic Con begins. Yes.
Yeah.
You're good to go for that week? Yes?
I'll be good.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Probably just have to go to bed like right after the show.
Why, you're actually going on Thursday?
I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
All right, well, we'll figure it out then. Don't need to get crazy now. Okay?
Yep.
So, yeah, hopefully you and I will be there together at the same time. We'll have some more information. It'd be great to see some people if anyone's around.
Yeah, guys, come on out.
Maybe you could stash some StayBallsy shirts in a backpack or something. Somebody wants to talk about some business.
I don't want to get kicked out of Comic-Con.
OJ always says this to me. I go, you're going to get kicked out. I can't give out cards. I stood in the middle of this building. I put the video on the show. That was a show intro. I stood in the middle of the building. They don't care.
I know.
They don't care about anything at these things. They just want you just pay to get in, and they hope that you buy stuff while you're inside, and then that's all they care about. Are you there?
Sorry, that amused me a little bit.
You were vomiting? What happened?
I was just making the noise, then I muted it in the middle, and then I unmuted it.
It's like I don't know. I always want to go to the thing, but sometimes I don't really like it.
I can understand that.
I feel it's kind of like I feel like they're just kind of taking advantage of people. I don't like the fact that you charge someone to go inside a place where you're just trying to sell them shit inside. Like I feel like there should be like something in there, a show or something.
There's panels, man.
Yeah, but you can't really go to them,
You can go to the Rink-a-Dink panels.
You have to sit there all night, waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
It'll be a nice day to hang out, though. I think it's a nice
fun.
day. It's a nice day to just go to the city and do some stuff.
There's a really good curry place not too far away.
There's a really good everything around there. You kidding me?
Yeah, the curry place will be mobbed, but it's still really good.
So I'm looking forward to it. They always trick me every year because I go to the website to get the ticket, and then they always have some kind of thing. Submit your whatever. And last year it was like submit yourself to have a screening. So of course I filled it out, and then we got the rejection notice.
Yeah.
And this year, I was like, I'm not going to do anything. But they had this thing called Super Week. Did you hear about this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they go, Super Week, we're looking for podcasters, we're looking for screeners, and people that want to do shows. Because we're having these events all over the city during Comic-Con week. It's a Super Week at different venues. So submit yourself. So, of course, I fall for the trick. I submit our shit. And they didn't even bother to send a rejection this year. They just didn't even bother.
Lovely.
It's nothing.
Very kind. I should point out that the company in charge of New York Comic Con is right down the road from where I work. So,
thanks.
If you ever want to send them a letter or an angry letter or
just go talk to them. Come on.
Yeah, that too.
But I think one of my goals, if you want to call this, I don't know, however you want to define what we're doing here, maybe a career. It's a entertainment career. I don't know, whatever the hell you want to say. One of my goals is to conquer New York Comic Con. I will do this one day. They will bow before me.
Kneel before John.
There will be flames. There will be flooding. There will be kneeling. There will be praise. And there will be much apology. Yes, that is the goal, my friends. There's been 3 years of shows. Perhaps it will take 3 years more. Perhaps it will take 30 years. But I must continue on because I am compelled to. Something tells me to continue. And just as the letter that Mr. Idtrod has sent me in the mail says, we can't give up. I will not. There is no stopping this, John. It is
Never
like a train that has been running downhill for 3 straight years. It only builds up more momentum. It has not hit the brakes in that amount of time either. And hopefully, John, get on board. Let's go.
Choo-choo.
It's a giant train. It's like Thomas the Tank Engine, but it's OJ's face. Someone's got to make this art. Please make this.
What?
It's Thomas the Tank Engine, but OJ. I'm inside of him. Yes. I'm inside his caboose, riding the train. And we're at it for 3 years. We've not hit the brakes. We're going downhill on the tracks.
Oh, boy.
Headed towards something. I don't know what's there. But it's coming up fast. Don't get out. Don't get off the train.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
So that's going to do it, my friends, for 3 years of the show. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new era of the show, which we'll be expanding ourselves onto some new platforms. Hopefully we can get everything figured out, you know. And
I hope so.
seems like we're on the right track right now. But yeah, we got some work to do over the next 2 weeks. I'll be working on the Shazman Hole Punch Blu-ray, which I'm very excited about. Really, it's really like just great joy to even work on it because it's just going back and righting the wrongs and seeing what we can do with certain things and being creative and adding things, and it's been very fun doing that.
I'm glad you've been enjoying it. That makes me happy.
It's lovely. It's probably it's a highlight of my days. And we will return in 2 weeks better than ever before. Johnny, what do you have for us?
Than ever. We're gonna show you guys. I don't know. I mean, I'll miss you all next week, but I look forward to when we can be together again, and you guys are gonna be really happy with what we figure out and what we do, and it's going to be wonderful and happy and awesome.
OJ the Tank Engine, signing off.
Oh, dear Bob.
Take us out.
Thank you all for... This has been the show. I want to thank you all for listening to John Rambo Presents the show, the best and free and optional entertainment. For Rambo, for OJ, this is OJ. You all off. Have a wonderful night, day, morning, evening. You did that on purpose.
Bye-bye.